Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsey and I'm the owner of By Auntie Linz. Today is a very exciting day. We're going to talk a little bit about Apple Fest. Moving forward, this is my number one goal. This is what is in the forefront of my mind because this is going to be huge. Apple Fest is a annual event that happens in Ithaca, New York, and I actually found this event last year in my search for events to do last fall, but it was too late for me to even apply. And when I saw it, I was like, okay, well, that looks great, but I don't know if I can drop a lot of money on a 3-day weekend, for a market. Instead of worrying about that, I just went on my little way, but for some reason I couldn't stop thinking about it. But instead of moving on with my life, I just kind of kept thinking about it. And this year I kind of stalked the page to see when applications would be opening up. I sent in the $40 application fee. I said, all right, I'm just going to apply. If I get it, I get it. If not, then whatever. Mind you, I'd never done a 3-day market before. This event boasts that they have up to 60,000 people in a single weekend come to the event. Which is huge. I've never been to an event that big. Your girl got in. I had to fork over a $550 booth fee, which I feel indifferent about. It's the most I've ever paid in a booth fee. But when I calculated it by day, it came to $186, which is still the most I've ever paid in a booth fee. I'm just very grateful at this point to even be in a position where I could even consider it. It's been interesting. I've had to figure out transportation, display, product itself, all kinds of stuff, and we'll get into this. So this is basically episode 1 is the planning and prepping stage of all of this. So I'm gonna just fill you in on a couple details that I think are important. Let's just get right into it. The first thing I'm going to show is the booth display. And I've thought a lot about this because I want to make sure that I get the most foot traffic possible. So the layout of my booth is very important because the more people that I can have browsing equals more potential sales. So I printed this out. I printed out a reference for me, but I'm going to show it on my screen. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. But I'm going to try and not look down the whole time. So I have 2 setups in mind because I don't know how the weather's going to be and I want to be prepared. So my sunny day setup is my typical 6-foot table setup in the L shape. In the summer and bigger events, I'll bring a small circular table to put in the corner and have a couple bestsellers out there. The only thing that really is different about this is that I'm adding a rack, I'm adding a bookshelf, a fold down shelf, and I'm hopefully adding a pegboard. Now, this is pretty ambitious of me. So basically all this is to give me more room to display more product, right? Then I have the rainy day setup, and this implies that I have 3 walls put up with the front open so people can walk in. This is, I figured, going to be the most efficient booth setup. Because then people can kind of walk around in a U shape. So same thing, I still have my 2 6-foot tables, I still have the pegboard, I still have the shelf, I still have the rack. I took out the small table, but I have room in the little corner, this little corner that I might be able to bring it to just display it. I don't know, we'll have to see, because I don't like when the rains inside my tent, the wind blows and things get wet, so I don't like having too much towards the front of the tent. And then I have a third little note page, I guess, that is all the things that I would like to buy for the event in terms of display and or like to make things cohesive. So my shelf that I was talking about, there's the fold up shelf that I'd like to bring. I saw these cool crates that might bring a pop of color to my display, but also I have the products sitting in something, so if the wind blows, then they won't go flying. And then I put a gold frame here for to upgrade all of my signage that I have on the table. I have these little golden frames, but they're cheap and they keep breaking. And I also think it would be more efficient to have it in a bigger frame so that way it weighs it down a little better. We'll see. I want to update individual signage. I want to update my... Actually, I want to have a table runner because I don't have one of those. I was considering getting curtains because I've seen a couple booth displays that have curtains in them. And I think it looks really cool. Considering a banner or some type of hanging signage. I had a hanging sign last year that actually broke at my last market of the year, so I don't think I'm going to fix it. But if I have the opportunity to upgrade it, then I will. And then some type of tall pegboard for my display. I would like to have at least a 3-foot tall pegboard, but I want it I want it on my table. I don't want it like freestanding. Because I have the shelf and the rack. So if I can fit that on the table, that would be wonderful. And I started with display because I think it's important for me to visualize, okay, this is like really happening. And now that I know what my display is going to look like, I have to figure out how I'm going to fill it and like with what to fill it with, right? Every time I go to a event, I set a goal. Sorry, now I'm on my computer. For this particular event, with a booth fee of $550, it's $4,400 for the entire weekend. So divided by 3, that's like $1,467-ish a day. I've never made over $1,000 a day at an event ever. So I'm freaking out a little bit. Knowing this number helps because then I can kind of figure out how much inventory I need to bring and how much prepping I actually need to do. So I kind of broke it down, and if this is boring, please skip ahead. But like, I'm a list person, and as much information as I can like visibly look at is great. How I kind of broke it down was if my goal is $4,400, I'd like to bring at least 2 times that. And just to make things easier, I set it to $10,000. So I wanted to bring $10,000. Holy cow. In product, which is absolutely insane. I can't even. I have 11 more weeks until this event. If I break it down by week, can I make $900 worth of stuff a week? Which still might sound a little crazy, but the way that I market prep is as efficient as I can get it. I did up my prices just a smidge. So I don't think that I'll have a problem making money at this event. It's funny because I was talking to my girlfriend last night on the phone, and she was like, how do you even know that you're going to sell stuff? And I'm like, girl, I have the opposite problem. Like, I know that I'm going to sell stuff. The problem is having enough stuff to sell. You take a chance. I'm taking a chance on me, and I fully believe that I can do this. I fully believe that I can make enough money for this to be substantial and potentially life-changing in the way that I run my business. And I'm just gonna do it. From here, I guess the only thing to show you is the way that I prep things. Like how do I determine what's most important to prep? So it starts with the materials and, of course, figuring out what patterns I want to make. I have a running list of every single pattern that I would like to make for this event, but we'll see how it goes. Some of these I've never made before. I don't know if it'll be worth the time for, you know, and equate to what it needs to be, but I have plushies, purses, cardigans. I was thinking a couple tops, a couple sweaters, of course my plushies. I'm expanding my pillows, and then a couple of the accessories that I normally do, but like with a twist. And I think that'll pizzazz some people. And of course I'll be offering custom orders. At some point I will need to make a yarn purchase. I'm gonna go through as much yarn as I possibly can before placing an order, or at least figure out what I need before I place the order, because I want to just get one order done and order everything at once. So that will be in a different video. I typically get my yarn from Yarnspirations, the Bernat Blanket website, or Hirschner's. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Whoever has the best coupon is where I'm getting it from. Sometimes different websites have different colorways, so that's something else I take into consideration. And then how long it's going to take to get here. I've ordered stuff on Mary Maxim that it took 3 days to get here. I ordered something from Yarnspirations after Joanne announced their closing, and it took a month to get here. So it really just depends on the timing. So I'm gonna probably place an order at the end of August to make sure that it's here by September. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna make as much as I physically can before even thinking about an order, and I'll be jotting down yarn colors that I need in the meantime. With that, let's go look at some product. We are now in my living room on my couch, and I just wanted to give you an idea of how prepping goes. Okay, during the week with baby, I don't have a lot of time. So like all this week, starting on the 1st, I just did a bunch of chicken bodies, I did a bunch of bee bodies, and I just left them unfinished. A couple days ago on Sunday, it was Sunday night, baby went to bed early. I was like, ooh, okay, I have time to finish these things now. Let me do that. So I will take the whole bag of whips that I have and just finish them very quickly. So frogs, I worked them all the way up to the butt. I didn't embroider the eyes and I didn't sew it up, and I stuffed it and threw the bodies in a bag. When I went to finish them, then I just had the embroidery and sewed it up, and that was it. It took 5 minutes to finish. And that's how it was with like all of these. So like here's a mushroom top that I had done like last night. I only had a half hour, so I finished 2 little mushroom boys. I also try to make things as no sew as possible. For the bees, I used to make the wings individually and then sew them on. Not no more. I just sew these bad boys right on at the same time, and that saves a lot of time. It saves a lot of ends to weave in and cut and all that. I just sew these things right onto the body. So this past week, I got all this done. This is what a week's worth of products looks like. Maybe I'll use this as the as a video cover here. I want to say the number one thing that I like about this process is that I'll do one thing and put it away, and then do another thing and put it away. And like at the time, it doesn't seem like a lot of stuff, but then a week later, I go back and look at all of this, and I'm like, how? Like, how did I get all this done in literally a week? From July 1st to yesterday, the 7th. And that's a lot. I think I made like $600 worth of product. It's not I didn't make my goal of 900 in a week, but over the course of 7 days, making $600 worth of stuff, I'm not complaining. at all. I did make a little tracker to kind of help me keep track throughout the week what I'm getting done. I just write the date, the product, like the variety, like the color or size or whatever, and then how much I charge, and then I multiply that by how many I made, and it tells me in this formula I made, it tells me exactly how much in product. So throughout the week, I've just been adding them up. At the end of every day, I just kind of add it up and see where I'm at. And, you know, that's how I've been doing it. There's been a lot of me talking in this video, and I apologize, but this is just the introduction. Don't worry, there's going to be lots more stuff coming. The last couple of weeks have been insane with birthday parties and summer stuff, and it's like I haven't been able to catch a break. So that's why there's not a lot, because I just have not mentally been around. Oh, you know what? I was going to end the video, but I actually got those carts in my little picture. You saw those little carts? Why don't we unbox them? Because that just makes sense. So, I have been seeing these everywhere online. People are saying that these are really good for markets because they tear down flat like this. Literally. And right now I have wooden boxes. And I really hate how bulky they are. When I bought these, what I had in mind was I'm going to put the small plushies on them. So anything from $10 to $20, they're gonna go on these. I don't know how actually how big they are. I imagine they're kind of big. We're just gonna open this up. Okay, this is kind of hard to open. Scissors. Here we go. Oh. So, it looks like... Okay. These are the baskets. This is how big a basket is. This is my head for comparison. We have the two ends, and then the baskets go in between the two ends. It also comes with wheels because it is considered a laundry cart. I will not be using the wheels. There, that's a little better. I was all zoomed in. Okay, so these go like this, and the baskets go in between them. Should not be too difficult. This doesn't even look like it fits. Oh! I'm doing the... Okay, I'm putting the wrong end in. I was putting, like, the top when I should be putting it in from here. Good gravy. Okay. There's one. Okay, this seems a little flimsy. Look at that. It's like... It's bending. Should it be bending like that? We're just gonna try it. Because I have to do this at the event. We're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. Jesus. Oh, this might be a good time to point out too. I also have 5 events between now and Apple Fest. So I'm not just preparing for Apple Fest. I'm also preparing for a couple other events that I was accepted into. Will this affect sales? I'm hoping not. Some of these events are... I hope this is fun for you guys, because this is not fun for me. Some of the events are like juried, like I did have to apply and see if I could get into it. Others weren't. But at this point, honestly, I would not be disappointed if I didn't sell out every show, because then I just have to keep replenishing for... Okay, Seems like the hardest part is over. Because then I just have to keep replenishing for Applefest. So, but these particular events didn't cost as much to get into, so I'm not trying to make buku bucks. Okay. Gosh, I am really struggling with this. Okay. 3. And then we have one more. Okay. It's in. Yay! Haha! Look at that. It only took me like 6 minutes. So, then the goal is to have it like probably by price. So like, oh my goodness, look how cute this is. Oh my goodness, stop. Guys, I'm so excited. And I have 2 of these. But this is to kind of help me with the variety, I guess, of... You see that? This is to help me with the variety of, like, having enough stuff on the table. And there's not a lot of substantial display going on. So at least with this, I could put... Look, I've got 8 chickens in there right now. I've got 4 mushroom boys in here. I could easily fit at least 4 more. And then I've got 10 of the little guys up here, and I can fit more. This is great. This is wonderful. And and you'd be able to see it from far away. Now, the only thing I don't like is like these little guys. They're behind bars, which is a little sad, but we'll see. We'll figure that out. Maybe I could even reserve just these guys for like the chickens and stuff, because I could load this buddy up with all chickens. I think with the stuff on it, I think it'll be fine from blowing over. But I also had the idea that if I could bring literally just like bricks, I could literally just bring like 2 bricks and put them in the bottom basket, so that way it doesn't blow over. But it seems pretty sturdy, like even like with the stuff on it. I think that was a great investment. I'm very happy with this. I paid $17.99 per card, I believe. I'll double check myself. And I had to order it at Walmart.com for delivery only because it was sold out of every store, which I can kind of see why. But yeah, it's light, it's versatile, it folds down, I can tear it apart, and it's this thick, this thin. There's no extra parts or pieces besides the wheels, and I'm not using them. I think this is a great investment. I'm glad I was able to do this with you guys today. So there's a little something. But yes, that is all I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Always appreciate it. If there's anything in particular you want to see from this series, please let me know. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, sorry. I'm a toy maker. Don't judge me. I love the little chickens. Okay. See you later. Bye.